Okay, I'm live now, and I've got already 5 in this channel here, and now I'm just gonna wait for more people to join. So yeah, good to see you here, Fiverr, and let's hope we get more people coming. Okay, we're doing good. And yeah, this, as I said a while ago, this will be like a remake of yesterday's stream because I didn't have enough people contributing to the discussion. So once again, if you were here yesterday, same topics. I'm going to start with my Marvel comic book collection. I'm going to do DC and manga in another video, and other comics will come another time. But moving on, aside from that, some news. But after the comic book collection of Marvel comics I have, we're going to talk about the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance cancellation and Yara Shahidi as Tinkerbell for Disney's live-action Peter and Wendy. So, now that you're here, Fiverr, I'm just going to wait for more people to join, and then we can get started. Okay, let's see. All right, here you are, Sophia's channel. Good to see you here. Let's hope you reshare this so that others can join. And yeah, good to see you, Sophia. Once again, I'll just post the topics in the chat roll. And good to see Osvaldo Diaz. Good thing we got people here coming. Once again, as you join, feel free to reshare so that others can come. So let's see who else could come. So yeah, once again, guys, while we wait, you can ask me some questions in the chat roll and I'll answer them. Oh yeah, anyhow, Five in Never's channel asks, since Avril Lavigne's birthday, what's your favorite song from her? I really like the song What the Hell, since that's one of my favorite songs from her that I know very well. And good to see you, Oscar. Hey, Maxi, I'm home. Good to see you. Sophia's channel asks, how are you doing? I'm doing all right, thank you. And you? Good to know you're doing well. Well, since more people are coming, I suggest we get started on one of our first topics, which will be my Marvel comic book collection. At first, it was just going to be my entire comic book collection, but that might take a long time to do. It's because I have a lot of comics, but I think we should just get started on Marvel. DC will be one of its own, and Manga will be one of its own. But let's just get started on my Marvel comic book collection. The Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider does. That's one of the first Marvel comics I collected. This is another comic I have. And of course, we got also a double comic, which is once again from the Marvel Platinum Edition. Got another double comic. Double the Mercs for the money. And let's see what this one is. An Avengers issue, like from the magazine, you can find in like whatever you call them, you know, like W.H. Smith shops or something like that. And I've got a Thor comic. an Avengers comic with a crossover with X-Men and Fantastic Four, I think. Wolverine and Deadpool. Once again, I found this just in a like a normal W.H. Smith shop, and got another Avengers Marvel comic here. It's just called Marvel Legends. And this one is the Essential X-Men. I'm gonna just drop this. Sorry, guys. Here's an X-Men comic from the 2000s, I think, but I kind of got it at I think a convention or something. And I know, right? Very cool. I've collected a lot of these, and I'm proud to. The Invincible Iron Man. And next one, we got the X-Men comic from the Marvel Platinum Edition. If you can see, it says... Wait, sorry, never mind. We'll just get on with this. Another Amazing Spider-Man comic. The Invincible Iron Man from the Marvel Platinum Edition. These are like when they show the original ones in comics. And let me just... We are Venom. And I've got one of the Incredible Hulk, which is cool. Doctor Strange, which is, of course, Ren's favorite Marvel hero. Let me just check this one. Superior Spider-Man, which is another cool comic. But whatever Spider does. Deadpool Unleashed. And I've got another Avengers comic. And let's see what else. Another Essential X-Men comic. I'm proud to have this one. Yep. Guardians of the Galaxy. Iron Groot. And Spider-Man was Miles Morales, not Peter Parker. This is Miles Morales. As you all know, 5 and Ever Channel's Marvel hero, and here's Spidey. And then let's go on to ones I still need to read. So I've read all those ones that I just showed you, and now I'm going to show you ones that I have, but I need to get on to reading. We've got Captain Marvel here, one of my favorites, alongside Taylor's, I guess. Yep, that's right. And Applejacks, I suppose. Spider-Man, Spider-Verse with Spider-Ham Pig. Deadpool Classic, which I think if I could read it like the way they wrote Deadpool back in the day, I don't know. Well, check it out. The Outstanding Spider-Man. Once again, Doctor Strange. And here's an Ant-Man comic that I have in my collection. Sorry about that. Should I pause for a second? And thanks, Fiverr. Yes, I do have a lot of cool Marvel comics. I'm proud to have them. And I've got Deadpool. Once again. Here's some Black Panther comics, just one Black Panther comic that I bought at a Comic Con once, like a comic convention. I was thinking it was a year ago now, but I still need to unbox it and read it. Avengers Academy. And Miss Marvel team up with Captain Marvel. That's right. And yeah, I know, Sophia. Rest in peace, Black Panther. Well, more like Chadwick Boseman. But anyhow, that's all my Marvel comics I collected. If you guys want to suggest others I could collect, you can comment in below, and I'll try and see if I can find those comics someday. Twilight would like that since Miss Marvel was a rainbow. Yep, that's true. I can picture Twilight playing her. But anyhow, before we move on to the next topic, what do you want me to show you next? My DC comic book collection, or do you want to see my Japanese manga collection, like Japanese comics that anime are based on? Let me know in the chat wall. And good to see you, Connor. You kind of missed my comic book collection, but stay tuned for 2 more topics. Okay. DC, Sophia comics. DC Comics could be next, but you're welcome to join Connor. You're just in time for more subjects. All right, so maybe in the next live stream I could do some DC comics. I have a few, but I could do them anyway. So now that we've done my comic collection of Marvel comics, I'm gonna move on to some news. And if you don't mind, I'm just gonna get the source from Variety, and let me just get it up. And of course, it's kind of unfortunate news because it just popped up recently after only coming back after getting after premiering last year on Netflix, and after one season, the Dark Crystal, as some of us know, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance has just been cancelled by Netflix. Sorry about the hiccups, but if I can read from my article from Variety, quote, we can confirm that there will not be an additional season of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. We know fans are eager to learn how this chapter of the Dark Crystal saga concludes, as we'll look for ways to tell the story in the future, says executive producer Lisa Henson. Quote, our company has a legacy of creating rich and complex worlds that require technical innovation, artistic excellence, and masterful storytelling. Our history also includes productions that are enduring, often finding and growing their audience over time, proving again and again that fantasy and science fiction genres reflect eternal messages and truths that are always relevant. We're so grateful to Netflix for trusting us to realize this ambitious series. We are deeply proud of our work on Age of Resistance, and we claim it as the acclaim it was received from fans, critics, and our peers, most recently receiving the Emmy for Outstanding Children's Program, end quote. So yeah, according to that article, I don't know why, but they cancelled the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance after just one season. And if I can express how I feel about this news, I'm pretty unhappy about it. It's kind of unfortunate. Like, I watched the movie a few years ago for the first time. The original Dark Crystal movie. I thought it was amazing. I loved it. It was one of Jim Henson's outside of Muppets work, and this prequel series was a promising start. And if I'd have theories on why this show was cancelled, well, it could be a few reasons. Maybe it's because of Netflix losing subscribers because of that Cuties ad campaign. Two, maybe it was the budget was too big and there might have been financial losses. Who knows? And it was too expensive to make. Three, not enough viewership. I don't know how many people watched it, so I don't know. And yeah, I don't know if it might have been Cuties that campaign that might have caused people to unsubscribe to Netflix. I haven't, just so you know. I still have Netflix and I'm still using it to watch stuff. But anyhow, let's see what you guys think about this news. And one thing in particular that you should let me know in chat wall. Do you think they should revive it and bring it back for a second season, or do you want to find another way to continue the story, like with a movie or something? Let me know in the chat wall. Sophia's channel. Says, I'm mad, curse for cuties. Yeah, I don't blame you there. Even though that movie is somehow getting good reviews. I don't know how. Maybe that ad campaign was false. I haven't watched it, but I'm not curious either. Conover Conductor Productions. It's sad that the series had been cancelled. Favinum's channel. Hopefully those new ways of stories will explain what happened to Deet, Ryan, and other characters. Yep, I'm hoping they explain that, because the end of the first season just felt unresolved. Like it just had a cliffhanger, and now it feels like it's not going to be resolved until there's a way to continue it. But yeah, I mean, after I heard this news, I was like, wait a minute, this is how it ends? There's so many questions left unanswered. But yeah, I agree with you, Kyle. Hopefully they'll find a way to continue the story in the future. Let's hear from others. But yeah, if there's something I would do in this situation, if I saw that ad campaign for Cuties and I was in charge of Netflix, I would not have that idea at all. But no, I'm not in charge of Netflix. I just pay for it while my mom does, and it's just our account. But anyhow, Favinum's channel asks, and who do you think might be Jen's parents and Kira's family? That is a good question, Kyle. I'm not really sure, but we'll figure it out someday. And yeah, people could protest when it comes to a show cancellation, as they often start what's the word? Petitions to bring it back. They will convince the network to do it, and you have to keep their hopes high. There's always hope. There is still some hope, guys. I mean, think about it. If how can I put it? If Samurai Jack got brought back for a fifth season, if the Clone Wars got brought back for a seventh season, sorry, I pronounced it wrong, then I guess the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance could continue again someday. But, oh wait, Oscar Mario. I can't believe the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance got cancelled. It really sucks. I really wanted to see what happens next. I did too, but once again, there is still some hope. Don't lose it, guys. Keep your hopes high for continuation someday. So, now that we've talked about that unfortunate news, but we're not giving up hope for it to continue, let's move on to some other news on casting, which is, I'm just going to put source in the chat wall, which will be some more news on an upcoming Disney live-action remake, which will be the remake of Peter Pan. And for those who don't know, and before we start, yes, this will be the first Black Tinkerbell, similar to how, Halle Bailey, Black African-American actress, is playing Ariel. And before I can continue, please do not be angry over this news just because she looks different. Just accept it and don't be upset. But anyhow, if you don't mind me reading, Yara Shahidi is casted as Tinkerbell in Disney's live-action Peter Pan and Wendy. And let me just find something to quote. Let me think. Let me just read it. According to my source on Variety, Yara Shahidi is getting her wings. The actor is set to play Tinkerbell in Disney's Peter Pan and Wendy, the studio's latest live-action adaptation. Shahidi joins a cast that features Jude Law's Captain Hook, with Alexander Moloney as Peter Pan, and newcomer Eva Anderson as Wendy Darling. Pete's Dragon director David Lowery is on board to direct and co-write the script with Toby Hall books. Jim Whittaker is producer. And let's continue. Shahidi is best known for a starring role in ABC's Blackish, as well as being a star and producer of Freeholm's Grovis. The actor and activist recently signed an overall deal with ABC Studios on the film side. Shahidi recently led the YA drama The Sun Is Also a Star. Though there has been many adaptations of the Peter Pan story, which I'm going to get to later, Shahidi will be the first Black woman, like I said earlier, to take on the role on screen. The decision follows recent moves for Disney to diversify their casting. Notably, Shahidi's gross co-star Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel in the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, and now Fitch was cast as the studio's first live-action Black Prince in Secret Society of Second-Born Royals on Disney+. Peter Pan and Wendy, an update of Disney's 1953 animated film, is the latest in a long run of live-action adaptations from the studio. The studio's most recent adaptation, Nikki Cara's Mulan, debuted on Disney earlier this month after delays due to COVID pandemic. Or should I say, pandemic, whatever you want to say. Shahidi is repped by CAA, Principal Entertainment, and the Nord Group. Deadline was the first to report this news. So yeah, we're going to get a different kind of Ariel for this role, and let's see what you guys think about this news. And once again, yes, there have been other adaptations of Peter Pan before that aren't from Disney, like Steven Spielberg's Hook, but I'm going to talk about ones that most people know by now. Steven Spielberg's Hook and the 2003 non-Disney live-action adaptation of Peter Pan, and that 2015 Pan movie. I've only seen the first two I mentioned, Hook and the 2003 Peter Pan movie, but let's hear your new thoughts on this news on Disney's live-action version. 5 channel. It's very surprising. Guess Disney wants to support the African American race. I'm glad you agree on that, because it's always good to have someone of color playing a role that they know how to play no matter what, instead of mainly because you want to find someone who could deliver talent. That's what matters more. Sophia's channel. I don't mind. Oscar and Mario. I agree with 5 channel. Disney made a good choice for the actress for Tinkerbell's LA version? I'm glad you agree. And going on to Tinkerbell herself, of course, we already have the Disney fairy movies, like as Peter Pan prequels or spin-offs, which are the Tinkerbell movies. And of course, those are the ones where Tinkerbell actually talks. As in the original Peter Pan, she doesn't have speaking lines, but she's. But I don't know how well if she'll be a silent in this version. But anyhow, I'm I'm glad you guys are up for the choice. I hope she'll get good auditions when that time comes, and there we go. But we're not over yet. We still have 10 minutes left, and if you have anything else to say, I may as well just do Q&A for the rest of the stream. So if you have any more questions, just let me know in the chat wall. Survivor News channel. Since they got actors to play Peter, Hook, Wendy, and Tink, who do you think should play Smee, George Darling, and Mary Darling? That is a great question. For Mr. Smee, let me think. Well, for Hook, we've had Bob Hoskins, who's already dead now, and I forgot who it was for Peter Pan 2003, but I think for Mr. Smee, well, that's a very good question, Kyle. I would love to say Josh Gad, but he kind of already played LeFou in live action Disney's Beauty and the Beast. So I'm trying to think now, who could they have as me? Just bear me to think. I'll come back to that. But for George Darling, maybe they could get Jude Law to play him alongside Captain Hook, since in the original Peter Pan, Captain Hook and George Darling were voiced by the same guy. And of course, in 2003's live action, in 2003 Peter Pan movie, Jason Isaac played both Captain Hook and Mr. Darling, so maybe we can get Jude Law to do the same. And for Mary Darling, let's see, maybe Kate Blanchett could be Mary. Anyhow, on Carnival conducting productions. Okay, I understand. If Disney wants to support more Black lives, that's good for these. Yep, I'm glad you agree on that, Connor. How about Terry Jones as Smee? I think he's already dead now, Corey. So yeah, he passed away earlier this year. So I'm afraid he can't play Mr. Smee in Disney's live action Peter Pan. So that disqualifies him. So yeah, if I'm trying to think, let's see. I'm just trying to think of someone that comes to mind. Josh Gad would be good. So, and he can play, and it doesn't matter if he has the role again. So, to answer your question, Carl, and who's Mr. Smee, I'm just gonna say Josh Gad. And good to see you, Willie Burns. Sorry I'm late. I was busy making another episode of Willie Burns and the Horde. That's understandable. You may have missed it. And 5 minutes channel. Maybe it could be Toby Jones or Warwick Davis. Yep. I think if to answer that question, I'm just going to say Warwick Davis. But that's all the topics for today, but we're not over yet. For the rest of the stream, we can do Q&A to keep this going now that Willie Bones is here. So if you have any questions in the chat wall, just ask them in the chat wall and I'll answer them. Q&A time. Oh, hey Max, how's it going? Good. I'm doing good, Ben the Half Blood Pirate, and you? Good to see you here too. All right, 5 minutes channel. Since DreamWorks made TV series of some of the movies, which do you hope they'll do next in the future? Well, if I had to pick ones that don't have a TV series yet, I think I'll go with Megamind. Since if that's not going to have a sequel, then I think they should do a TV series based on that, and perhaps Rise of the Guardians would be a good suggestion. But yeah, since Rise of the Guardians was well received but didn't do well at the box office back in 2012, I'm just going to say that should have a television follow up. So yeah, Megamind and Rise of the Guardians for TV series Sunday. Oh, I'm hoping Over the Hedge might get a series. Yep, I'm hoping too. Wait, here's some custom ideas for my spoof of Alice in Wonderland. Melody, The Little Mermaid 2. Well, that's a good choice for Alice. And oh, come on, Carter, let him decide for his own. Five and Ev's channel, he's talking about his spoof, not mine. And it's okay, Carl. It's all right. You want to know. I'm just telling you now. But yeah, we're just going to keep this going. And just feel free to ask some questions now. Willie Bones. I think DreamWorks should do a TV series on the road to Eduardo. Yep, that would be a great idea since they did one on Spirit. So, and if since Road to Eduardo didn't do well at the box office and is kind of the sequels are scrapped, then yeah, maybe that could get a TV series. Since I love that movie and I'd like to see more adventures of Miguel and Tulio. So yeah, that's another choice I would bring up if it was one of their earlier works. White Rabbit, Roger Rabbit, Tweedle, Gene Tweedledum, Bill and Ted. Yep, that's some pretty cool choices for your spoof of Alice in Wonderland. Yep. And once again, I do have one for DeviantArt in production in progress called the Cutie Mark Stages in Wonderland, but that's just a DeviantArt spoof. I have one for here on YouTube coming soon called Isabel in Wonderland, but I'm going to get to that in the future. Anyhow, Oscar Mario. Since this year we celebrate Super Mario 35th anniversary, which Mario character would you like to be in part of Smash Brothers? Ooh, good question. If I had to pick one, maybe who's not part of Smash Brothers yet in terms of Mario characters? I know Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser are. Maybe Princess Peach, I would say her. I don't recall her being on the game, so I'm just going to say Princess Peach. I got one last question. What do you hope the new Sonic games will be about? Ooh, very good question. I'm not sure yet, but speaking of Sonic, I do look forward to the sequel to the second movie in the future. And when that comes, I hope to see Sonic's friends in that movie. And when I say that, I mean Cream the Rabbit, I mean Amy, and maybe his rival Shadow, and perhaps Rogue the Bat, if I pronounced the name wrong, and hopefully whatever the alligator's name is, alongside Tails more. And I'm glad to see you and Carnival Conductor Productions. You got some pretty cool custom choices, but we'll talk about those another time. Oh yeah, Vet to the Crocodile. That's right. I hope he appears in the sequel too. Let's see. Well, I guess I gotta go now. Thanks for the answers on this week's live stream. Yeah, that's all right. And if you guys, and since I don't know if we have any more questions, but if we don't, then maybe we'll just wait. Willie Bones, I would love for Sante to be on the next Super Smash Brothers game. Well, okay. And I guess that's nearly 30 minutes up. Wait. Well, Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, yep. Playable fighters. So I'm suggesting Geno for Super Mario RPG. Yep, that's pretty cool. And I know this was only 30 minutes long compared to my other streams, but I think I'll just wrap things up for today. Be sure to stay tuned for next week's live stream. I'm not sure if it'll be on a. I'm not sure what day I'll do it yet. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. Who knows? But stay tuned for my next live stream, and I'll figure out topics for that week. And until next time, take care.